Welcome back, y'all. So today I'm going to try my hand at something a little different, and I want you to tell me down in the comments if you liked it or not. Today we are covering the Imps from Doom in light of everyone's favorite Marine turned demon killer, Doom Guy. And apparently he's getting a sequel in Doom Eternal, so now is as good time as any to release some Doom lore. So without any further stalling, let's jump onto this thing like an imp does to a person. An imp is, let's be real, going to be the least threatening demon you may encounter in game, but that's to a heavily armed and armor-clad soldier. To a typical person, this creature is going to be quite large and deadly. If Doom Guy is anything to go by, your average imp is going to stand at about 6 feet tall when it's not in a squatting pose. But what makes this creature so dangerous is not its height, it's going to be its agility and speed, because those are off the charts. Sporting a sinewy appearance, the imp is able to bounce around the map, taking pot shots at any person, slowly draining their health and their will to live before ultimately tearing them apart. Starting from the feet and going up, let's run down the features of this creature. The feet of the imp, as you would probably not suspect, are going to actually look like feet. They are predominantly bipedal animals, however, they like to hang on walls and from ledges, indicating that they have quite the ample use of their arms, and their arms are also going to be very powerful. The feet themselves, they almost look human-like in some ways, with the same type of structuring and a large, big toe. But going back to the arms for a minute, they are going to appear much more slender than the legs, but don't let that fool you. If an imp gets a chance, it will jump on you, tearing out your entrails before finally finishing you off by ripping your arms away from your body and beating you to death. The arms are interesting in appearance, as the forearm, there exists a supporting bone that seems to run outside of the actual main arm and to the side of it. If these arms are anything like ours are going to be concerning the skeleton, then this actually suggests that maybe there is a supporting bone in that growth on the side, and this actually might be necessary as the creature will climb and grab onto things, but when it falls, it's going to be using its arms to probably stabilize itself, so you would need more supporting bones. The hands of the imp are going to be its main melee weapon against Doom Guy and really any unfortunate scientist or security guard it runs across, or in the original Doom games, pretty much any human on planet Earth. Sporting 4 fingers, each has a dagger-like claw attached at the end, which they can use to slash at a person until they have been torn to ribbons. Armor even appears to have an issue in dealing with this, as the imp can really just work its way through it fairly quickly and down to flesh, and once it starts hitting flesh, that's kind of a problem. And again, there's no way to truly know how strong an imp actually is, as we aren't operating by the normal rules of our universe or our environment, so it's totally possible that extra strength exists within this creature, making those claws even that much more deadly. The face of an imp is the stuff that you would probably see in your own nightmares. In fact, just a little bit of story time. When I was a kid, I used to live in a more rural area, and every night I would go to get some water from the sink, and above the sink was a window that looked pretty much just out into the pitch black of night. It always kind of freaked me out because I would always imagine, what if I looked out and saw yellow eyes out there looking back in through the window? Well, this guy has got them. Sporting 2 yellow eyes that produce light, it can be assumed that Argent energy is responsible for this. The mouth of the imp are lined with jagged teeth. Suffice to say that if for any reason it does choose to bite you, they could easily pierce the skin, probably pierce the bone, which means they'll have a pretty strong grip on whatever they have, and if they decide to tear away, that's going to tear away that piece of the person. The look of an imp is going to be a bony, unattractive, and aggressive looking creature. However, their behavior is almost like the creature is toying with you, which, if you did not know, according to folklore, is what they are known for. Basically, they are going to be the pranksters, and the imps in Doom are going to harbor some of this mentality, but it's going to be a little more bloodthirsty than, say, the imps that the olden days they talk about. However, while they may not trick Doom Guy, they will dive out of the way and run just out of reach to take pot shots at him. The creature is covered in yellow and black skin, it appears. The yellow almost appears to be like a plating over a normally black skin that it seems to sport. It could be that the yellow is actually a sort of calcified armor protecting the imp from light attacks from bare hands, and the black skin is obviously going to be the more flexible, allowing for the acrobatics that the Imp is known for. The body is also adorned with many jagged and sharp portions, such as the ones that form on the shoulder blades and come down from the chin. One of the reasons I was kind of hesitant to cover Doom lore is going to be the sheer lack of scientific information. I mean, the creature is spawned from hell, from evil. It really does not play by the normal rules like most species that evolve do. So the most obvious glaring problem with trying to stack this thing up is going to be the production of fire from its hand. But I'm pretty sure while it doesn't pull fire from thin air, if you really kind of, and this is speculative, and this is the only way I can really think about this, if you look at the creature when it does throw a fireball at you, it obviously has a connection to Argent energy, so it pulls that from the surrounding environment. So I wonder if the Imp were in an area where there is no Argent energy, would they be able to actually throw a fireball? At first, I kind of thought, well, maybe it's a biological function, but clearly there is no chemical combination here or spark used by the Imp. So I'm gonna just go ahead and shirk that idea. This is really just gonna have to be stacked up to its ability of the demon, and the Imp has the ability to control the energy. When it decides that it would like to fire one of these fireballs off, it will draw Argent energy from the surrounding area, focus it on its palm, and once enough has been focused, the creature will then throw it at the person. And I imagine if it hits bare skin, then whatever this ball hits, it's gonna probably burn that area like napalm, and if it hits an important part of your body, which is basically anything except for your hands and feet, yeah, it's probably gonna kill you. Imps, while kind of spastic, are going to be fairly aggressive as well. They will attack anyone on sight and not give up no matter how many of them you actually kill. And it appears that they do not fear humans at all. Well, except for one human. If it does manage to overpower you, the death is brutal and swift. It will jam its hand in your abdomen and rip out quite a few chunks. And just like Ernest Hemingway's book, A Farewell to Arms, you will be saying goodbye to yours very quickly. The Imp will rip off your arms before it ultimately hits you in the face with it, either knocking you out or killing you. But killing an Imp shouldn't be too much of an issue for Doom Guy. The standard is caving in the face of the Imp if it gets too close. Doom Guy seems to have no issues with throwing Imps in the air and relieving them of their head. But alright guys, so it's time for a little bit of brutal honesty. What did you think of this episode? This was a little out of my comfort zone, as I usually cover stuff that has science to it, so I really want to hear down in the comments if you like the direction of this. I mean, do you want me to keep going with the Doom series, or do you want to can it right here? If you did like it, don't forget to leave a like, and if you liked it enough, don't forget to subscribe for more morphological breakdowns. Did you guys know that I am streaming on Twitch? It's pretty fun there, I think. I'll leave a link for that as well as the Discord. That is actually almost at 300 members now, and we have quite a few different sections for people to talk in, so if you want to come talk to some like-minded people, hey man, we're all there. Of course, I would like to thank my patrons. We have Layla Alizarin at the scientist level, and now we have 3 residents. Can you believe that? G. Anderson, John Russo, and Richard Muhlenberg. Thanks guys. Next up, we have Adam Hartswick, Cameron Smith, and Andrew Lawson with their masters in biology. With their bachelors in the morphological sciences, we have Eric Scott Gillies, mailing address, a big fat Snake, and Natsuki Chiaki. Thank you for your continued support, guys. I actually really do appreciate it. I know I've said this before, but YouTube is seriously dragging its feet with that monetization, bro. One day I'll get there. One day. Anyways, that does it for me, guys. So I will see y'all in the next one.